up, son? What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. The Panthers on a prowl will continue driving down the field to the red zone. We just got a first down and 10. Smitty on the loose, wide open Ted again. Stack 6 more on the board, looking like a win. With the 6-game winning streak, put them out their misery. Brady wanna cry when the ref threw the penalty. Panthers got a hot team, Patriots the enemy. Draw the first blood, different team than we used to be. Cam swerving through the traffic signal in a first down. Fans on their feet and the crowd getting really loud. Offense did a job off the field. There's the towel. Bank of America. Stadium is going down. Defense got him pushed back to the end zone. Hardy with the sack. That's a safety and we got the ball. Rushing on your shotgun. Staring at the barrel, y'all. All New England fans hear him saying that ain't fair. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Better watch the linebacker, he can read you like a book. Run 40 yards just to tackle Luke. Got him shook, Toby like a tank. And D'Angelo with the fake. Stiff arm, out of bounds, 25 to game. Stewart back, healthy 3 lethal running backs. It's suicide at the wide receivers, it's a rout. Secret weapon make plays, Greg Olsen make it happen. Keep pounding on these haters, we ain't playing John Madden. Legion of the hometown go boom. Force and fumbles, Panthers making sure the ball is loose. Jack move, Charles Johnson, yeah, he will come attack you. State of mind, mentally and physically, we pass you. Godfrey in the nickel back, and he making sure we're safe. Panthers on the prowl, we gon' come and elevate the state. Hard fought thriller, only 59 seconds left. Panther fans on the feet, heart beating out the chest. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. What's up? Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding. Ice up, son. What's up? Ice up, son. Carolina, keep pounding. Carolina, keep pounding.
I saved enough to take my mom.
At Vistaprint, we know you've got that idea for your business, like the trade show or
What's up, everybody?
hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, such as scheduling for the channel and for the Yahoo Sports app. Keep pounding Fantasy Football League, which will be starting soon. And make sure to check out Vinny's Pizza out in DeWitt, Georgia, out in Dirty Bird territory. Yes, I know, Dirty Bird territory, but it's worth it if you're going to a Panthers-Falcons game. Best pizza in the Southeast. It's right next to the arena. You can't miss it. Go check it out. Try it for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. And check out Monster Grub and Sub in Spartanburg, South Carolina. For a tasty sub, the owner is a Panthers fan. Tell him that we said hi and we sent you there. And he'll hook you up with some delicious food. You still have to pay for it, of course, but it is delicious. Alright. Also, shout out to the Panthers YouTubers out there. UNC 2020, C3 Podcast, Pat Coltrane, The Roar, Mr. Big Cat. We got Blitzball Champ, who is under our umbrella. Go check all these guys out. And give them some love from us. We're one big happy family, man. It's one love, man. It's one love. Hey. So, also, huge shout out to the Roaring Riot. I finally got my gear in this week. Let's get it. Y'all see this? 59 Luke, the Hall of Famer. Let's go, baby. Let's go. If y'all love this, put Luke in the chat, man. Put Luke in the chat. Alright, so they sent me a magnet telling me about all the different artists that were going to be guest appearing for the Roaring Riot. Tailgates for the year. Also, they sent me some stickers. And a 2026 member sticker. And let me see what this is here. Riot fam. Okay. Riot fam. I'm not going to show that on the screen because it's got a barcode. But, and then, apparently, they were going to host the Yin Yang Twins for the first Roaring Riot game for the Bears, I believe. But that apparently had to cancel. So instead of putting out new stickers, they're just going to wait until the new ones come out. So that's fine. But yeah, they were originally booked for Roaring Riot. I don't know if they wanted that announced or not, but it is on their magnets. So, that being said, I also finally got the shirt for the Roaring Riot as an official member. I think this is really cool. Notice they personalized the number on the jersey of the shirt. So obviously I chose Luke Kuechly. I think that's really awesome, man. I love that. If y'all want me to, I'll wear it on stream. You know, while I'm gaming or something, or not during an actual game reaction, but I'll wear it like when we're not doing game reactions. If you guys want me to, I'm totally down. I might do that anyway, just for a game one. And before we get started on the official content, I wanted to officially say I got my hands on some very interesting pieces at the Southeast Game Exchange this weekend. Y'all are gonna love this. All right, this is a DJ Moore signed helmet. It's got about 6 or 7 signed signatures on it, and including Sam Darnold, CMC, JJ Jensen, and there's a few others that can't be identified. But this is a really, really cool signed helmet, and I couldn't pass this up. And I just figured, this is an excellent one to add to my collection. Some of these autographs I already have, from training camp. Because that was either in 22 or 23. But I now have it on a helmet, so that's really cool. And I also already got Christian McCaffrey before he became a 49er on a mini helmet. So I showed you guys that on stream before. And there's also this one. Bryce Young, baby. Bryce Young mini helmet signed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Proud owner. If this dude manages to do what we think he's going to do, this thing's going to be worth a lot more than what I paid for it. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm about to make some money off that. Y'all already know it's coming too. Y'all already know. It's coming, y'all. The day is coming. Woo! This hat is real. We won the NFC South. Yes, that's real. Bryce was a part of that, whether you like to admit it or not. Alright, so let's get down to business. We're going to go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. Brady Christiansen with a blood clot. Now, this is a big... Oh, my bad. Taylor Moton with a blood clot. My brain's fried. Y'all got to understand, I didn't have much sleep this weekend. I'm still recovering, y'all. But yeah. Taylor Moton with a blood clot, y'all. No word on how long he's going to be out for, what that's going to entail, who's going to start. We don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know. What we do know is they're going to do a press conference tomorrow. I'm not sure if that's going to be for the soccer team or for the Panthers. But for right now, we do know that there will be a press conference because I actually tuned into like the test stream. I'm not going to say much more than that. But, they were messing around with some tech equipment and whatnot, trying to make sure it was working properly, the sound and whatnot. And I was like, man, y'all didn't have to go live to do that. That's all I'm going to say about that. That was very unprofessional. Anyway. Point being, I was entertained by it, and we're having a press conference tomorrow. And if it's the Panthers brass involved in this press conference tomorrow, you can guarantee Brady Christiansen is going to be mentioned, Taylor Moton's going to be mentioned, and we're going to also probably talk about J.C. Horn. Now, as far as who else might be mentioned, I don't know. That will depend on the Q&A from the presser. So, shout out to Jeffrey. How you doing? Um, did I find you a mini helmet, black and blue? Um, I haven't had time, brother. I've been very busy. With all due respect, man, I've had a lot to do this past month. Keep pounding across the seal, the visor of the helmet. Yeah, they put these are the types of mini helmets they have. But you know, some of them have keep pounding on them. Some of them don't. So, I know the ones that I've run across don't in the mall. Um, and these I actually bought from a game exchange, you know, event for autographs. So, but if I see one like the one you're describing, I'll see if I can grab it. Okay, if I have the time. I have not been to the mall in ages, so it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while, buddy. I got to take care of business first. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, you can guarantee that J.C. Horn, Brady Christiansen, and Taylor Moton will be brought up during the press conference tomorrow if it's Panthers related. Um, again, we do not have a physical training camp this year, as they are working on the stadium. The city has approved of the stadium upgrades, as we have seen in the news so far. And this is just after the AC/DC concert that was hosted in Bank of America Stadium. So let's talk about Brady Christensen, what that's going to look like going forward. With the new signing, he is multifunctional. He can play on any of the 5 spots on the offensive line, which is extremely useful considering the depth that we just picked up through a free agency and the draft. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have him back. That was a beautiful move by Dan and Dave. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me on Brady Christensen. I love you guys for that. Thank you. You know, yes, he might be coming back from that Achilles injury, but he is still incredibly useful. So do not discount him. All right, so let's talk about this offensive line real quick, and we'll figure out what we want to do about who's going to start for the right tackle position. All right, at center, we've got Luke Fortner at 6'6", 300 pounds. From Kentucky, we've got Sam Height at center. The new rookie that we just drafted, 6'4", 303 from Kansas State. And we've got Nick Samak, 6'4", 314 from Michigan State. Now, let me put this up on the screen so everybody can see what I'm looking at. And apparently it didn't want to work. All right, 1 second. Streamlabs is really finicky. It is what it is. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, those are our 3 centers as of right now with the assigned numbers, 77, 75, and 60, respectfully. Then we're going to go down to guards. We've got Jatire Carter. I'm not sure how to say that first name. I hope I said it correctly. If I didn't, I apologize. 6'3", 311 from Southern. Southern where? I don't know. It didn't list it. Maybe they screwed up there. I don't know. Mistype maybe? We can look that up later. Anyway, Shadiq Charles, guard, 6'4", 321 from LSU. We've got Joshua Gray from Oregon State, 6'5", 299. We got Robert Hunt, who is the beast on the offensive line right now, 6'6", 323 from Louisiana Lafayette. And it just goes to show you, any offensive lineman in the country, you know, from any smaller college like that, can be very, very effective. It doesn't matter where they're from. They could be from Temple. You know, as long as they are able to handle their business and play at an NFL level, you know, at a position of need that we need them in, we welcome them, you know. Damian Lewis, 6'2", 327 from LSU. We got Chandler Zavala, 6'3", 322 from North Carolina State. Which, honestly, like, I don't see why he is still here. But I'd put him on the squad, to be honest. But, hey, he's there as an emergency backup should we need him. Plus, he's actually had some playing time. So, and he's got to run out that contract, too. So, it is what it is. But I would like to see him eventually replaced. Brady Christiansen is back. There he is. Retaining his old number at 70. 6'6", 300 pounds from BYU. And the newcomer, Isaiah Glass. 6'4", 311 from Vanderbilt. At number 74. Now, let's take a look at the tackles. Here's where things start to get interesting. We got Icky. We've got Stone Forsythe from Florida that we just picked up in free agency. 6'8", 307 is what he's listed as. Of course, Icky listed 6'4", 320. Monroe Freeling, the new Georgia tackle. 6'7", 315. And, of course, there's Taylor Moton, who we're going to talk about in a minute. Albert Reese, 6'7", 330. The new rookie from Mississippi State. Rasheed Walker, who's been around for a little bit. 6'6", 325 pounds from Penn State. And now we get back to Taylor Moton, who was last listed as 6'5", 325. Now, with Taylor Moton's blood clot happening, we are going to have to figure out who is going to be starting at right tackle for Taylor Moton. As far as we know, Rasheed Walker's been here for quite a bit, but he doesn't have the experience quite that everybody else does. Now, we did get Stone. And I don't know if... I think Stone is supposed to stay at left tackle. But we did get Monroe Freeling. Now, if Monroe is ready, we could plug him in. You know? And he hasn't played much right tackle, but we could stick him in there and it would be just fine. I think we're ready. You know? On the offensive line. Freak accidents and injuries like this stuff happen, you know, early in the year. So, I mean, from training too hard or doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, or just freak health problems, you know, like a blood clot, you know, can happen. So, you need to be ready with the depth on your offensive line, and you need to be ready to handle such situations with professionalism and an understanding of what needs to happen situation wise. So I think we're okay. I like the Monroe Freeling draft pick. He was a top 10 pick, or a top 20 pick, my bad. Top 20 pick. We picked him at 18. Um, and I don't think anybody knew that this was going to be an immediate need situation when we drafted him. Now, was that the case when we re-signed Brady Christiansen? That's my question. Did we know about this right before we re-signed Brady Christiansen? And that's why we re-signed him. Because here's the thing. We did have an open roster spot because Will Greer retired. Now, are we feeding off knowledge before or after? Makes you think, doesn't it, folks? So we got to be real careful about this and understand that sometimes these moves happen because of pre-existing knowledge. Sometimes they don't. But in any case, I think these are all excellent moves. And I'm very pleased with the amount of depth that we have. I think we're ready to handle any situation that comes up, And that was not the case 2 years ago when we were rebuilding this team, in the first year. So I think we've come a long way with the rebuilding of this offensive line, and I feel confident that we'll be ready. I feel confident in Monroe. I think he's determined. He's a hungry player. I think he's a very smart player and a person too, as well, and he's got a love and a passion for this game. You could see it in his pressers. You could see it in his gameplay, and I do believe that he will be ready when we call his number. So, we just never expected to call it this soon. Stone, I don't know as much about, and I'm still doing a little bit of digging on him, but I think Walker's been here for a while, so now we just have to figure out the play calling. Now, a lot of people are saying that Dave Canales is not getting the job done play calling was during certain parts of last year. I say it's the opposite. I think it's the offensive coordinator calling the plays, and it has not worked out. Through Dave Canales, who officially took credit for the play calls. But there were certain times last year where we saw that Brad Isaac was credited for calling some of these plays. I don't need to tell you that we got to get this right. If we can get this right, this could lead to a 9-win season and a back-to-back playoff appearance. Now, whether we win said first round or not, that will depend on our skill, our healthy players, and our ability to control the ball. So, those are the key 3 factors going into this season. If we can get all 3 of those right, I think we're in good shape. Looking at the defense, and I'm going to bring up J.C. Horn just briefly real quick. He had a foot injury because he was training a little too hard, and that can happen, with any players during the off season, or during training camp, or any of these situations, during the off season. And if you're pushing yourself a little too hard, you get injured by doing the wrong thing. And perhaps you twist an ankle, perhaps you have, who knows what type of injuries, people end up with. So the thing is, availability. That's the big thing here. If we have them available on game day, I'm not concerned. And I think JC Horn is going to be available, and we're not going to have to worry about that. So, and this could also work in our favor, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of people are going to be looking at this secondary and wondering where the weak spot is. Why do I say that? Because we just got a brand new safety. We've got Charles Smith-Wade at nickel. Lathan is being developed back there at safety. You've got two solid corners on either side. You've got J.C. Horn and Mike Jack on the other. You've got two shiny new linebackers from free agency, Mr. Lloyd and Mr. Phillips. And we just drafted another defensive tackle. So, here is what's going to happen here. From what I think is going to happen. And this is where Nick Scott comes in. I've had multiple conversations about Nick Scott. Here comes another one. If we put him in run defense packages and let the secondary do its job back there, with Lathan being in Nick Scott's old position back there in coverage, that takes away our Achilles heel. That allows Nick Scott to get his tackle numbers the same as he did last year in his special teams. And it allows us to ensure that our secondary is secure. And that we're not going to be giving up these long passes when Mike Jack has trouble back there. Or JC has trouble back there. Versus very, very talented wide receivers. Number 1 and number 2 wide receivers. And you guys know the names of the players I'm talking about. I don't need to throw them out there. That roasted us last year. One in particular that roasted us was a Mr. Cooper, if I remember his name correctly. I got to double check that name. But for the Cowboys, when their two main wide receivers were ineffective, here comes the number 3 wide receiver that absolutely roasted us back there in the secondary. Well, let me double check these Cowboys wide receivers. Pickens. All right, so George Pickens roasted our secondary that game. And that concerns me because if you allow these guys to get that many yards back there and take a full advantage of Nick Scott like that, they're going to keep racking up the score, and it's going to keep putting pressure on our offense. And we don't want that. So, sealing up that secondary is essential and vital for a successful season this year. Yes, Dave Canales, I'm talking to you. Make it happen. Because I'm sick of seeing Nick Scott give up 23 plus points in a season that could cost us in 2 or 3 games a season. And did, in fact, cost us the Rams playoff game. And you're going to reward him by paying him double that amount at the same coverage spot? No. Put him in run packages. I'm done debating about that. Because people don't want to listen to me about that. Okay, let's run up the score again. Let's put ourselves in three-point game situations again where we don't need to be. You know, it's putting extra pressure on that offensive unit to score the winning touchdown. You know, in about 4 or 5 of those games. Because we gave up 1 touchdown that we should not have given up. Because of Nick Scott. In each one of those games. If you want to have a successful season, you cannot have that happen. That could cost us a playoff trip, folks. We could be 1 game short because of that. It is that critical. But other than him, I think we've got a top 10 defense brewing. You put him in run packages, we got a top 10 defense. No question about it. If Lathan can step into his shoes and we find a good use for Nick, I think we're in good shape. That will allow us to get that extra push on these quarterbacks and force them to rethink these throws. So what they're going to do is they're going to be looking for a mismatch either with JC or Mike Jack at that point, if Lathan is doing his job properly. And our other famous safety is doing his job correctly back there. Then I think we're going to be doing great. Mr. Trevon Moehrig. So, what that's going to do is it's going to force these quarterbacks, these veteran quarterbacks, to throw it into traffic and test the linebackers if they can't get these passes in to the corners and beat the corners. Which JC has been known to cough up a couple, but, you know, overall, he's been in the top 100. And honestly, he deserves it. There's a reason he hasn't been tested over there. Because he's a lockdown corner. So what do? They decide to go over to Mike Jack's side of the field. So if Mike Jack has any slip-ups, you have to have a coverage safety covering that situation, and that is Lathan. It's not going to be Nick Scott. It's going to be Lathan from here on. He's had a year. He is ready. Put him out there. There is no reason not to at this point. If you see he is ready in preseason, put him there. That will close the gap, and that will ensure that these quarterbacks have to say, oh, hey, we can't throw it to the sidelines. Now we have to throw it over the middle and test the linebackers. And guess who we just got at linebacker? Mr. Lloyd and Mr. Phillips. I would love to see them test out these two out. Because I could personally vouch for Lloyd. I've been watching him for a few years now. Dude is a monster. Everybody talks about his run stopping ability. Nobody talks about his coverage ability. Yeah, he can cover. He can definitely cover. But we don't want y'all to know that. We don't want these other teams to know that just yet. Let him find out. Let him find out. It's not a secret, though. If you watch his game tape, you know he can do that. If you haven't watched his game tape, you won't know. Cleveland. The one team that does not watch game tape, and they get clowned for it every time. It's a clown organization, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, and Mr. Phillips has done an excellent job in coverage. Again, he is mainly a run stopper, which makes him ideal for our 3-4 system. So I'm excited to have him. And, you know, we thought there's no way we would be able to get Jalen Phillips. There's no way. But we did. Since 2024, we have been doing the impossible because of Dan Morgan. Over and over and over again, we've been doing the impossible because this man has provided us the tools to do so. And Jalen Phillips is yet another tool in our tool belt on this roster to accomplish that goal of making the playoffs again and again and again. And it has just begun. So, with the quarterbacks having to be forced to throw it towards the linebackers, that allows that extra fraction of a second for Nick Scorton and Princely to get in there and get the pressure. I'm excited, man. I'm very, very excited because I think this is going to be a big year. The stats are going to go up. You know, the numbers are going to go up. The attention to detail is going to go up. Meaning footwork, hands, discipline, technique. All of that is going to be increased this year. You're going to see it in the stat lines. That's where I want you to look for it. I want you to look for it while you're watching the live games too. If you've got a scouting eye, you'll see it immediately. An immediate jump on that. And a difference in that. Because that's what we're focused on this year. Now, last year, yes, we did have some lazy moments with the technique. And it showed. You know. And that's okay. This year, now we start to really hone in on that. And we push that. Because it's important to do so. If we can get this technique and hands and footwork cleaned up a little bit, and each year we'll keep pushing it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. You know, until we are solidified there. You know, because at that point, with the roster being what it will look like, and with the technique being what it looks like at that point, with no weaknesses, there's no reason why we can't run the tables. There's zero excuse once we have been handed all the tools and we have worked on everything we're supposed to work on. Then it just comes down to injuries, skill, and execution. Period. That's it. And in 28, that's where we're going to be at. That's the year that we strike. And we take the league by storm. They're not going to know what hit them. We've been quietly building this team for 2 years now. And what did I say when we first started? I said that this was a 2 to 3 year project. to set everything up and put it in motion. Step by glorious step. And everything I've said has come to fruition. And I'm so happy that it has. Man, I feel blessed that I've been correct about all those things, and that it shows me that we're doing things the right way. And I feel like this is the right way to do it because it's yielding fruit, man. It's yielding results. And you've seen it on the scoreboard. You've seen it in the win column last year. Exactly like I said it would. And that's not me being cocky. That's just me being right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm focused on being correct because being correct means success. There are other times where if I am correct, it can mean some bad things too. So I'm not perfect. I can get things wrong. You know, I have opinions. I have thoughts. I'm human just like everybody else, you know. But if I do get things wrong, I get them wrong. But there are a few cases where when I do get them wrong, it does hurt us as a team. And that's not good, you know. So I try to get better about my predictions and how to better assess this team and how to create success overall. So I just want people to know, you know, this isn't ego. This is just me saying, you know, all of these things that have come to fruition are because of the fact that I have been looking at a lot of different aspects and I've gotten them all correct. And Dan has as well. And when me and Dan are on the same page, we start yielding some serious fruit with this team. And we have. And I just never got on the same page with Frank. I never got on the same page with Matt Rule. I never got on the same page with Ron in the last couple of years of his tenure. You know, and it was frustrating to me because I knew that we had the potential to do something with the talent that we had for a couple of those years. And it frustrated me because it could have at least set us up to start building what we have been building the last 3 years. So, Marty had his issues at GM, you know. Fitterer had his issues at GM, and of course Gettleman had his issues. You know, none of them were perfect, but you look at Dan Morgan putting together all of those positive aspects of what they were successful at, putting them together without those weaknesses, you find success. You find what we've been looking at for the past 3 years. The formula is working. You know? And you have to trust the process. And for what, I know people are tired of hearing that phrase. God, trust me, I know y'all are tired of hearing that phrase. Because of Frank repeatedly saying it, you know, Matt Rule repeatedly saying it, Ron Rivera repeatedly saying it, all these other people that were not successful repeatedly saying it. But now we've got a head coach in Dave Canales and a GM in Dan Morgan that are saying it with success backing that up. That's the difference. That's the difference between the two. So, with that in mind, I think we're going to have a successful season. I was looking at a couple of different aspects, you know, throughout this offseason. I think we're We're looking at a 4 to 5 win season for the Falcons. We're looking at a 7 to 8 win season for the Saints. Just guesstimated early. I haven't seen preseason fully yet. I haven't seen the first 3 weeks of the season either. So we don't know for 100% sure that that's going to happen. Saints could still very well be in contention. We don't know yet. I'm not completely ruling them out. But I can tell you Tampa is going to be up there again. They're going to be battling with us for 9 wins. So we need to be competitive. We need to be consistent. And we need to be determined and locked in this year. Because now's the time when we start battling for division titles, when we start fighting, for wins. And not just settling, but winning. This is where we need to hone in everything that we're doing. And make sure it is on target with our goals. Because if we don't and we fall short, Bucks win the division again. They take it back. And we don't want that. So, let's stay focused. Let's get everything done that we need to get done as a team. And I think we'll be all right. This Brady Christiansen situation isn't a reason to panic, I don't think. I like the depth that we have right now. And I think Brady Christiansen kind of adds to that depth massively. How is he doing, health-wise? That's what I want to know. Does he feel like he is back strong enough to handle the situations that we need him for? If so, I'd say we're in great shape. I'm not concerned at all. And if you drafted well and if you put together free agents well, what are you concerned about? What are you worried about? Trust Dan. He seems to know what he's doing so far. And, we've yielded so much success because of Dan and his moves. And I could not be more thrilled. So, he has a track record of success. This is my point that I'm trying to make. That track record of success should show you it's worth being patient. And waiting to find out, who's going to start at right tackle and how that's going to work. Now, here's another aspect I want to bring into play. Because a lot of people were saying last year, Icky was having trouble last year. When in reality, it was actually Taylor Moton that was having trouble last year. If you go back and you look at the tape from last year, some of these old games, go watch Taylor Moton and his footwork and his hands, his technique, his hip turning, his footwork. There was a little bit of a concern there. And I expressed that during training camp last year. And unfortunately, it carried over into the regular season. But not so much that it was a concern, Like, he handled his business through about 90% of the season. And, we didn't have to worry about it, I didn't really point it out that much. So that's a good thing, if he can kind of hone that in once he gets healthy again, and come back and play like he did pre last year, I'd say we got a solid offensive line. We don't have anything to worry about, on any part of it. And this is the first time I've been able to say that since 2015, ladies and gents. Actually, before that, because we had Mike Rimmers in there in 2015. So that was our Achilles heel on the offensive line. So pre-Mike Rimmers, when we had Trey Turner, that's when I could truly say, yes, this offensive line was truly solidified and we didn't have anything to worry about. So that's been a long time. And to see that this is coming to fruition to where we have a solidified offensive line for once with no major problems approaching is such a breath of fresh air. It is like finding water when you come out of the Sahara Desert and you've been wandering for about 5 years. It's such a breath of fresh air, y'all, to know we have that offensive line depth finally. And if that depth is exactly what I think it is, and what we all think it is right now, then our IQ is here as Nick Scott. Point blank, period. We solved that problem. We're home free, y'all. We're home free. Once we finish building up that depth, we need one more offseason. One more offseason. And we're ready to make our Super Bowl run. Now, that doesn't mean we can't win a couple of playoff games this year. So, yes, teams are going to see us get 8 to 9 wins, sure. You know, anywhere between 8 and 10 wins. I think 9 is a realistic number. But once we get into the playoffs, that's when you start to see this roster come to fruition and really show you the improvements this year versus last year. You'll see it in the little footwork, the little hand movements, the hip turning that you didn't see last year. You'll see technique. And I'm excited for that. I am absolutely excited for that. I'm pumped for it. Because every little aspect of this, you know, as we're building, is just, it gets me more and more hyped, man. And I love this roller coaster ride that we're on right now. It's so fun. You know, it's us as Panther fans, you know, we've been through so much. We've seen so many things in this franchise. You talk about the early days of, you know, John Fox. You talk about, even before that, if you're a Panthers fan before then. You've seen some crazy stuff happen. So, I mean, just to watch that build up again, like we did in 2013, 14, and 15, from a 2-win team to this, the little steps involved, just, that's what excites me. You know, like, yeah, being on top is amazing. You know, I'm a Clemson fan. I've been watching, you know, ACC tournaments, ACC championships over and over and over again, year after year after year after year. And I'm excited about that. You know, I'm happy about that. But the build up to those championships, that's what excites me. I don't know about y'all, but just the little moves that were made, the techniques, the practices, the small things about it, you know, just, it hypes me up, you know, as a Panthers fan, because I know what's coming. We all know what's coming. And I mean, that's a reason to celebrate even more. When you're sitting in Mint Street, looking at your fellow Panthers fans, watching the Panthers parade down Mint Street with the Lombardi Trophy, and just knowing what it took to get that Lombardi Trophy, knowing the steps it took, and just reliving that journey again, you know, as you're watching the trophy pass by you, is the most electrifying feeling ever. And I felt that with Clemson, and I was so thrilled, you know, because I remembered the Tommy Bowden days, you know, when we were struggling to make a bowl in Clemson. So that same energy is in Carolina right now. where we're building up to that championship and that championship level energy. And I literally turned to my buddy Rucker and I was like, how's it feel to walk on stadium grounds of an NFC South champion for the first time in 10 years? You know what he turned around and said to me? He said, it feels amazing. That's when it really hit. You know what I'm saying? That's when it really hit. And I said, yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And we're just getting started. You look at the Atlanta Braves in baseball. You look at the 14 straight division titles these guys got. You know how much work they put in to get those? It's an insane amount of work. You're talking like, what is it? 162 games a year during the regular season? Plus playoffs? You know, for 14 straight years, they pulled that off. 14 straight. And won a World Series in 95. And thank God I was alive to see that day as a kid. I was watching it on TV and I lost my mind as a kid. That's the joy, man. When you're a kid and you're a sports fan and you get to see your favorite players holding that trophy up, it's unbelievable. It's unreal. There's no feeling like it. And that's what makes you a fan for life. You know what I mean? Like, you could watch these sports for years and years and years, and then you watch your favorite players hoist that trophy up, man. That's just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I can't wait till the day we manage to do that as Panthers fans, man. And we watch, T-Mac and Derek Brown and everybody else putting up that trophy in their hands. Man, that feeling is going to be something else, y'all. It really is. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be at that parade and I'm going to be partying all week in Mid-Street. I'm going to be partying with y'all, man. You can bet on that. Because that energy is going to be insane. We just got a taste of what that's going to be like. We got a taste of it. These boys are hungry now. They're hungry now. They got a taste of what it's like. They don't just want to taste anymore. They want the whole doggone thing. And at 28, they're going to get it. And you know what's even sweeter? It's going to happen in the Falcons Mercedes Dome. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait, y'all. That's going to be the ultimate revenge against those Falcons, man. That's going to shut them up for years. No disrespect to Falcons fans around the world, but all these trash talking Falcons fans that keep forgetting that 28-3. 28-3. Y'all keep talking that trash. I love all the respectful Falcons fans out there, man. I respect y'all. Those ain't the ones I'm talking to right now. I'm talking to the people that can't shut their mouths and keep talking trash and say, oh yeah, we're going to win the division this year. We're going to win the division this year. We're going to do it every year. We're going to do it every year. Okay. Where do y'all keep ending up? Where do y'all keep ending up? I'll wait. Man, I love y'all though. I love y'all. I love all y'all. Whether you talking trash or you're a decent fan, I still love you. You know, all were welcome here. So that's the way I roll. But yeah, I want to especially point out a a Panthers fan that I met at the Southeast Game Exchange real quick. I forget his name. And forgive me, I lost your business card, but I believe your wife created a bunch of stuff for the merchant table there. And when I do find the business card, I will properly shout you out. But I do want to show some love, you know what I mean, to all the Panthers fans out there that are at different conventions and different places like that. Because I do go to Charlotte and I do travel around the upstate to different conventions and whatnot. But I just want to show some love, you know, like I meet people everywhere, you know, and it's this fan base and this community that we put together, you know, that is beautiful, you know, because when we all come together, you know, as fans and we all go to these games and we show our love to this team that we devoted so much of our energy to, you know, like it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Um so yeah, shout out to him. I forget your name, sir. I apologize. But when I get the info that I need to properly shout you out, I will. But yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I wish your wife, or was it your sister? I don't recall, but um, I want to say your wife, but I don't recall offhand. I've had so much going on and so much, you know, that it's overstimulating this weekend. So forgive me, but I don't think he even knew that I had these signed helmets. I was carrying them around. I should have showed him, but you know, you would have gotten to see him in person. But either way, yeah. Special shout out to any of the businesses that want to be shouted out, that have Panthers fans or Panthers related stuff in it. You know, please do contact me with that stuff, and I'll promote it for free. I would love to. It would be my pleasure, especially if you're a Panthers owner, you know, Panthers fan owner of a business like my man in Monster Grub and Sub. I would love to promote you. So please do reach out, and I will take down your info and I will promote you in the very next stream. Um, and especially game day if you're a restaurant. So please do, you know, reach out to me. I would love to have that. Uh, so that is our Panthers related content. Oh, we need to talk about Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks is back. So we'll see what we're looking at with Jonathan Brooks. I think he's going to do well. I will be watching him in training camp and whatever content they put out. There's at least a small handful of players I'm watching. I'm not going to name any of them, and I don't do that before training camp. I do that after training camp because I want people to realize that, you know, I'm not going to give away the fact that I'm watching certain players. I don't want them to have any clue that I'm doing it because it will make them pay special attention and do things they normally wouldn't do. So, what I'm going to do instead is talk about those players post training camp and talk about what I saw, for those days. You'll know which ones they are, based on my evaluations. If you're one of those players. And that's post draft training camp day every day that I'm up there. Or not up there. So once camp is over, then I talk about the players and I say, okay, yeah, these were the players I was watching. This is why, this is what we really need to focus on and what we need to hone in on, during regular season practices, to ensure that everything is cleaned up and done properly. So, but for right now, let's say that list is about 6 or 7 players in particular right now. Me and the team chat have discussed those players, and we're all locked in on those same 7 players. So I think once I start watching, that's how that's going to go. And that's really the plan every year, is we just hone in on a half dozen players and we say, okay, which ones do we want to pay attention to, this year. And we just hone in on them. So we'll see how things pan out. But I don't really have anything else major to say, Panthers related, as far as covering important information. So what we'll do instead is we will check out my boy Cody's video from C3 that he put out. He was interviewed. So I would really like to do a reaction to that. And I know he would appreciate that. So I'm going to do that. We support all the other streamers out here, Panther streamers. So if anybody would like for me to react to anything that you would like to send me, please do. Off season is the best time to do that, since we don't have much content. But if it's time sensitive, and if it's related to current stuff that's going on, during the regular season, please do reach out to me anyway and send that stuff to me anyway. And tell me it's time sensitive and I'll react to it, when I can. No promises on when I can get it scheduled, during regular season time, but I will do my best. And I also have a lot scheduled, off season wise of stuff to do too, until I get everything settled around here. So let's properly react to this, shall we? So this is he was interviewed by Fusic Films, and he's been stuck in a wheelchair for his whole life. For those that don't know who Cody is, he's an awesome dude. I met him in person and I love him. I think he's a fantastic human being. And I'm just so excited to show this content and just be able to react to it. It's fantastic. All right, let's do it. I have not seen this, by the way.
My name is Cody Lashley. I'm 35 years old. I am originally from Lawrenceville, Georgia, but I've been living in Charlotte with my mom since about 2004. So it's been a while. I've lived in North Carolina longer than I've lived in Georgia. So this is definitely my home. I love this place. I live right by everything. The Panthers Stadium, and just everything you want is around here. I've gotten to meet some incredible people in my time living here, and yeah, there's really nowhere else that I'd rather be. I was born with spinal muscular atrophy type 2. And the doctors originally told my mom that I wouldn't live to see the age of 2 years old, and I'm 35 years old. So that just goes to show you can't tell me nothing. I'm very hard-headed and stubborn, but I'm also the type of person where I live life one day at a time. I've been in this wheelchair my whole life. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I haven't had my own personal battles with my condition. I certainly have, and anybody telling you that they don't is probably not being genuine about it. But I do feel like this has provided me a platform to use the gifts that I was born with, my ability to advocate for myself, to be able to speak up, to communicate with people, and just be the type of person who can build camaraderie with people. It's really sort of turned into my superpower. Life isn't easy. I have to find ways to accommodate things in a bunch of different manners, from transportation to living arrangements. It has its own difficulties, but it's my cross to bear, and I understand that everything in life is for a reason. And
let me pause it right there. Everything in life is for a reason, dog. And yes, man, you struggled so much, man, and people go through different battles like this, and it's tough, and some people talk about it, some people don't, um, but for the people that do, I feel like they use it as motivation for themselves and motivation for others, that may be struggling in life and may need that assistance as well, to keep going. And you look at somebody like Cody here, it is just a stubborn, bullheaded, person that is just never going to give up. And it's so beautiful to watch that type of energy, in the world today. I'm so excited to react to things like this. And I'm going to mention another group, later on that I feel deserves some love as well for that same reason. But I feel that when I pass by people that have these difficulties, in the world, and I sit there and I just pray for them, and I think, thank God, man, that all the struggles that we all go through every day, teach us lessons and teach us to be strong and teach us to be determined and teach us to understand that yes, everybody's fighting their own battles and their own demons, but we are still breathing. We're still here. We're still fighting the good fight, until, the good Lord decides he wants to take us off this earth, if you're a believer in Christ, or a believer in whatever you believe in, until your creator decides to take you off the earth. We're still here. We're still fighting. And that's what matters. We're a very determined people as humans, and that's never going to change. So what it reminds people to do is to never give in to those demons or those voices in your head telling you that you can't make it. You can't do this. You can't do that. Can't is not in this man's vocabulary. It is not in his vocabulary, folks. And he's about to show you that.
I'm going to continue to present the best version of myself each and every day so that hopefully I can inspire someone else to continue to do the same thing no matter.
Facts. Facts right there. Facts. He wants to inspire people to be the best person that they could possibly be. in their life. That's beautiful, man. God, that's beautiful. These are the types of people, man, I love talking to and getting to know. That's wonderful.
What they're going through. When I was a young kid who didn't know any better, when I was born in Georgia, I was born a Falcons fan, but they quickly broke my heart, and I said, yeah, I'm not this anymore at all. So then later, I pretty much wasn't into football for a very long time, but sometime around 2011, right before Cam Newton was drafted, I was in a Cats bus in the city of Charlotte, and the driver had the radio station playing, and they were talking about should the Carolina Panthers draft Cam Newton. And at the time, I didn't know who that was. I didn't know of Cam Newton, but I was going to college for simulation and video game design. And I went to my class, and I looked up Cam Newton's Auburn highlights.
Just inside of midfield. Here's Cam on the fake, right up the middle, breaks the tackle. At the 40, stays on his feet, 35-30, 25-20. Peterson, the one-man defeat at the 5. He is in!
And dude, I was blown away. And I'm like, if the Panthers have the opportunity to draft this dude, I'm going to be a fan forever.
The Carolina Panthers select Cam Newton.
The Carolina Panthers drafted him #1 overall, and I've been on this rocky relationship with the Carolina Panthers ever since. It's been a bunch of ups and downs. That 2015 season was absolutely incredible.
Yes, it was.
He is in for the touchdown. A record-setting year. He's picked again. Kuechly for the touchdown.
It really was some of the best football moments I've ever had in my life, just watching the Carolina Panthers and feeling the energy of that team at that time. It was incredible. Even though we've fallen on some hard times since then, I've learned that in order to be a true fan, you have to stick with them through the good, the bad, and all that in between. And I'm prepared to be a Panthers fan from now until the day I die. Panthers fan for life. Keep pounding, baby.
And for me, it was Steve Smith. Steve Smith, Wesley Walls, Jake Delhomme. I mean, that was the trio for me. And Moose. Stephen Davis back in 04. As soon as I saw these guys start doing what they do, I've been watching some Panthers games, highlights before that, and I was just like, I didn't really commit to the Panthers before that point. But once I started seeing them do their thing in 04, I said, hold up a minute. This team is different. I saw Sam Mills come out there and start busting people up. I said, wait just a minute. This is my team. I need to be rooting for this team. And once he said that famous phrase right there, keep pounding, I was locked in for life. I was locked in for life because keep pounding means whatever you need it to mean for your situation. Whether you are battling through what he's dealing with, whether you're dealing with cancer, whether you're dealing with who knows what, you know, Carol is a great example of that, our co-founder for the channel. She's had back surgery. She's had issues with keeping a home. She's had issues with making sure that people didn't steal her stuff. You know, it's like she's had to battle every step of the way and had to rehab every step of the way to get her life back. So, for me, people like this are the very definition of keep pounding. And it is beautiful. And it's why I named this channel this. And no, I'm not ever going to change it unless they trademark it. God bless they don't. You know? God hope they don't. Because that would be a tragedy. But I'm going to continue to carry that name for this channel for as long as I humanly can. Because we all recognize that that phrase means way more than just football. It's a life mantra. It's a reason to keep going. And it's a beautiful thing, you know? That's what sold me on the Panthers right there. Because that said, okay, this is the energy I want. When I'm rooting for a team, this is the energy I want. This is the mantra I want. This is the ideals I want. And I never deviated, even for a second. Because that's who I am. Those are my ideals. Those are my morals. Those are my values. Put into one mantra. And he realizes this as well. Many of us do. You know, and that's why we are so undyingly loyal to this mantra and this team. You know, it wouldn't matter. You know, I'm going to be a Panthers fan till I die. Period. Good, bad, and the David Tepper going absolutely crazy and throwing drinks on people levels of the Panthers' history. You know, I'm going to stick by them no matter what. I'm not deviating. So, Cody, man, I love hearing about your journey, man. I love hearing about your adventures and like what you how you started out as a Panthers fan. It's so awesome, dude. That's so cool. Let's continue.
Really now I've dedicated myself to being a full-time online presence, growing the podcast, and really trying to expand the C3 Legion. That's what I call my army of Panther fans that have started to follow the C3 Panthers podcast through the Friday free-for-all that I've started.
That's a heck of a pro.
Wake up.
Oh, I have that same Ezio figurine. I have the same Ezio figurine, dude. It's sitting in my bedroom right now. That's dope. But yeah, that podcast has become huge, man. And y'all have put in some serious work into that, and it is absolutely an amazing, beautiful leviathan of a podcast. And I'm so excited to be a part of that following, you know, and contribute in any way I can, you know, during the Friday free-for-alls. And even just being in chat, you know, and working and typing in messages every now and then. It's a privilege, dude. It really is.
For Taylor Moton. Backspace. Taylor Moton. Welcome everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free-for-All. Fan Fest is upon us. We will be at Bank of America Stadium in less than 24 hours, seeing the Panthers practice for the first time in front of fans. It's going to be incredible. And we appreciate y'all spending each and every Friday afternoon with the C3 Panthers podcast. First up, he's in a different surrounding, but you know we couldn't do the free-for-all without him. It's Panther Pickle. Pickle, what's up, brother?
What's up, folks? I'm at a hotel in the middle of Charlotte. And, of course, it storms.
You brought the rain with you, huh?
100 degrees weather all last week and probably the week before that. I come in, get ready for Fan Fest, be 78 degrees. What the hell, man? You know what? That's all right, though. We're going to keep pounding on the way to conquer the NFC South.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Next up, you know we got the man, Jake the Snake F. Back on the free-for-all. Jake, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, Cody. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. I'm so excited.
Man, it's an exciting time to be a Panther fan. You know, we're joined by Michael Wydrick. Michael, what's up, dude?
What's up, Cody? What's up, everybody? Glad to be on the Friday Free For All. And all I gotta say is, keep pounding.
Hey. And this brother right here, and all these street musicians, I want to give a huge shout out to all the street musicians in Charlotte, man. You got the Bucketeers, you got the people that got the full-fledged drums, man. These guys are absolutely awesome to watch and listen to. You know, I got a passion for music, and I love checking out people like that, you know. They got their little playlists, you know, and whatnot to play along with, and, you know, they're just trying to hustle and get some money, you know, but the vibe, man, the vibe they set, you know, in the streets after the games, you know, when we win, when we lose, whether it's Fan Fest, whatever Panthers event, you know, these guys are out here. You know, if it's not raining, then they're out here. And they are busting tail, you know, to have some fun and create a positive vibe in Charlotte. And it's amazing, man. Shout out to these guys, man. I forget all these people's names, but they know who they are. They know who they are, you know, and, you know, you'll know if you met me. I'm always wearing a Panthers hat, you know, I'm always, you know, rocking the jersey or something Panthers related, so, you know, I'm always out there, man. You know, so, Jeffrey says, let me see, what's this comment? Are you still here, brother man? Going live right now. Oh, you going live? You got a podcast? Hold up, Jeffrey. Okay. You didn't tell me you were a podcaster. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Man, good luck to your podcast, and you are more than welcome to link it in chat, man. We'll check it out. We'll show you some love. We'll promote you as well. Come on.
Shout out to my partner, Tony Dunn. He founded it in 2013, and originally it was just a way for him and his friend Joe Riolano, who has since passed away, to maintain their friendship and be able to speak not only about Panthers football, but just to be able to keep in contact with one another. And around 2018, before the Panthers drafted DJ Moore, I was looking around online and I found a website called drafttech.com. And originally somebody by the name of Mel Mayock, he was the writer for the Panthers for drafttech.com, and he posted a link to the C3 Panthers podcast on their website. So I got to checking it out. Originally they would do, and we still do, the cat calls every Tuesday night where people can call into the show and leave a message for us and talk Panther football.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
And originally I would call into the show under the guise of the YouTube champion. Tony Dunn, Mel Mayock, that freaking Puerto Rican Joe Riolano. What's up, boys? You know what time it is. It's time for better know a potential Panthers draft pick. I'm the YouTube champion, Cody Lashley, and without further ado, let's get the ball rolling. The night that the Panthers drafted DJ Moore in 2018, Tony had a bunch of fans come on the podcast, and I was one of them.
All right, here comes Roger.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's him.
Guys, this is the jersey.
Oh my God.
Is it DJ Moore?
It's DJ Moore.
Oh my goodness.
So I'll say this, if you look at what we have on the field right now, Curtis Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Devin Funchess, Torrey Smith, and now we have DJ Moore. If you think about it, that's a lot you have to account for. And me and Tony hit it off in a big way that night. And the next Tuesday night, he said, I think I want Cody to be a part of this show full time. So yeah, for 7 years now, and me and Tony and Greg and CK have really put forth a ton of effort to build the podcast and make it a place where Panther fans feel like they can come and be a part of a community of Panther fans, where they can have their voice heard, where there's no judgment about who they are, what they look like, what their original fandom is or was, and just to create this camaraderie built around C3 and around the Carolina Panthers. And I've taken a lot of pride in doing that, and it's been one of the best things in my life for the past more than a decade now. I've been a diehard.
That is so cool to watch, like, the origins of the C3 podcast and just understand, like, how he became a part of it. That's so cool, dude. Like, I knew about the history of that a little bit, because I've been watching some of the stuff that Tony's put out, you know. So I knew some of that history. I wasn't exactly sure how Cody fit in, you know, when he did. But now we kind of get that backstory, and that's really cool.
UFC fan since I was 15 years old, and that was originally my sort of first love in my life. If my body permitted me to do it, I would have pursued a career in mixed martial arts, and really that was sort of the war that I fought with myself, because I have a body that wouldn't permit me to compete in that sport. However, now that I've been able to find a presence online, I feel like now and into the future, that's going to be what I do, continuing to build my online presence, growing the C3 Panthers podcast, and maybe in the future branching off and doing some other creative things as well. But, you know, I'm a normal 35-year-old. I like to have a drink every once in a while, watch TV. Nothing really too much out of the ordinary, really.
People in a rush. What you do, bud?
Recently, I started working with the Friends Foundation here in Charlotte, and what they do is they give vehicles and other equipment to people with neurological disabilities or diseases of some sort, right? And I started working with them really the last year and a half, and I met Todd Dewey at a conference for Cure SMA, where they promote new drugs to help stave off the progression of diseases like spinal muscular atrophy, which is what I have. I met Todd Dewey, and I started doing events with the Friends Foundation. One of those events was I got to go to Quail Hollow Country Club, and I was sat at the table with Wesley Walls, former Panthers tight end, and he was just incredible, one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet in your life. And we got to talking, and I asked him if he would be kind enough to come on the podcast, and he did so, and we were able to do a really cool hour-and-a-half long interview with him. We got to pick his brain about what it was like playing professional football, playing with the Carolina Panthers, what he sees the future being for the Carolina Panthers and the players that they've drafted. He played with Dan Morgan, who is the Panthers general manager right now. So we got some really cool insights on Dan and who he is as a person and how he intends to build this team the right way. And it was just a really cool experience. And yeah, the Friends Foundation is awesome. And I definitely look forward to continue working with them in the future.
That's amazing.
I'm fortunate enough where I live right by the stadium. One of the things that I definitely do think that they could use more of is some protection for when you're out in the elements. You know, wheelchairs can't really afford to get wet. And, you know, especially when you're out in the sun for a long time, most wheelchairs are pitch black. So when you're sitting in a pitch black wheelchair, it gets pretty hot. You know, it's something that I do think that they could try to improve upon. I know that as they're making renovations to the stadium here soon, they have made it a pact to try to make it very friendly for people with disabilities, which I do think is a good thing. But overall, Bank of America Stadium is actually a really nice stadium. It's easily traversable. It's easy to get in and out of. I'm just excited to see what further changes they'll continue to make for people with all different types of disabilities.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
So a couple of years ago, I went to the Panthers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Christian McCaffrey was still on the team. And there's a very famous play of Christian McCaffrey jumping over the head of a defender and somersaulting into the end zone. I was right behind the end zone when that happened. I watched him do it in person. It was just an incredible moment. The stadium went freaking bananas. It was just a crazy moment to be a part of and see. When I was younger, I probably had some why me thoughts, but as I've gotten older, my mindset has become, why not me? There are people who have it far worse than I could ever have it. I still have the ability to talk. I have my sight. I can hear. You know, every day people have things that they take for granted. And yeah, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm physically disabled in a way that's very serious that a lot of people aren't. But, you know, there are people that don't know where their next meal is coming from. They don't have shelter over their head. There are people being bombed on a daily basis. So when all those things are in context, I think that I was given this opportunity to use my disability to not only grow as a person, but to see the world through a lens of non-judgment. That you might see someone who has an able body, but yet you don't know the mental trauma that they might be going through. So as I've gotten older, I don't have any sort of woe is me mindset of, you know, why is my body like this? It just is the way it is, and I've learned to focus on my strengths rather than dwell on my weaknesses.
Right.
You know, I've had a wild relationship with spirituality my whole life, but I feel like as I've gotten older, the presence of a creator and spirit, I believe in it now more than ever. And I feel like when you see how tumultuous today's world is, there's so much division in all different aspects, you know, politically and race and religion. But I feel as though if you have a strong connection to your faith, that you're able to see through some of the worldly things and see people for people of God. And everyone has a spirit, and everybody has something that inexorably connects them to something much bigger and greater. And it helps me to remember, you know, when you see all different kinds of people, that you never really know what they're going through. So recognizing that we do have that one thing that does connect us, I think it's a very powerful thing. And I think going forward into the future, people are going to need more of it. And people are going to have to start to answer their own personal questions about their relationship with God and spirit and the universe. I know I've certainly had to.
Fantastic video. Thank you so much for that. And fantastic interview with Cody, and he's just such an amazing person. And it's a blessing to be able to meet him in person and just hear his story and just understand, you know, how he got to where he got to, you know, what motivates him, and just it's beautiful. You know, that's what Keep Pounding is all about right there. When you listen to that podcast now, you'll have like a new renewed, you know, sense of who he is, and I think it's fantastic. And I'm glad I got to share that with everybody, so that now like everybody knows who he is, and if you didn't before, and hopefully that inspires some people, you know, to keep fighting in their lives and using that keep pounding mantra as your guide. So thank you for that. That was absolutely beautiful. You know, we got FanFest coming up. It's coming soon. Also, as it relates to I don't usually get into Instagram that often, but I'll do it today. Hold on. This dude right here. So, I wanted to promote his cause as well while we're doing this. Give me one moment, because I want to I had a good long awesome conversation with him. And it's he has an autism group. I forget the name of it offhand. Yeah, Autism After 18 in North Carolina. Go show him some support for that group. And it's now up to 2,439 followers. And they do a fantastic job of just community events and just volunteering and charity events and things of that nature. So, and really just discussing the nature of autism as a whole. And it doesn't get enough attention in today's society. As well, I don't really know if you want to call it a disease or what you want to call it, but it's more of a disability, I think. Some people call it different things, but I call it a disability. But autism is a lot of different things. To a lot of different people, you know, that have it. And it's a difficult challenge. It is. If you have it. And I am in the lowest end of that autism spectrum. And I have my challenges just like everybody else does, you know, and you know, I don't share that very often, but yes, I do understand like how difficult that type of a lifestyle can be, and issues that come up when living with that disability. You know, it can be very, very challenging. And I would just want to shout out that group and my man Doug here for promoting it. So if you would follow him on Instagram, it's Doug Eileen. I think that's his last name, but it's ALLE Doug ED 89 on Instagram. If you want to reach out to him and ask him questions and talk to him about that stuff, you know, he'd be glad to answer any questions you have. Just great human being, great person to talk to. And there was a video that I had played on stream about that at one point. But yeah, he keeps me updated on the numbers of the group, and it's a blessing, man. You know, like I enjoy talking to the dude. You know, I haven't had a chance to reach out to him recently because I've had a lot going on, but I certainly will do that right after the stream. I'll reach out to him and tell him that I promoted him. So, but yeah, that's yet another example of how they keep pounding mantra. You know, keeps people pushing forward and continues to help people to keep fighting. You know, in life. And like Cody said, you know, you try to be the best version of yourself every day. And I like that. You know, that's a great mentality to have, and I love it. You know, that's what we promote here, you know, is positive encouragement and just trying to, you know, fight through those battles and get to a better place in your life. You know, and if it's a situation like his, you know, you just make the best of it, you know, and show people that, you know, you're not backing down. You're going to continue to fight in life and just be that person that you set yourself out to be. A positive, kind, generous person. And that's what we want more of in the world today, you know, and that's what we battle that division with. That's what we battle that racism with. That's what we battle all of that garbage with and that hate in the world with. So we just have to keep fighting and keep pounding, man. That's what it is. So with that in mind, is there anything that you guys would like to discuss in chat? Because I think we have hit all of our Panthers content for today. But yeah, shout out to Cody, man. Much love to Cody. Thank you for that video and that interview and just showing us your bright spirit and who you are, you know? It's a blessing to know you, buddy, and to keep in touch, you know? And much love to the C3 podcast as well. All these guys are amazing gentlemen, you know? And I have love for all of them. I just saw Panthers Pickle in the press conference chat earlier today, actually. But yeah, I met all these gentlemen. They're great people. So, but yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about Panthers related, you know, before we start preparing for FanFest? Also, humongous shout out to the Roaring Riot. You guys are amazing people too. But yeah, DJ Moore signed helmet. in case you guys didn't see it earlier. There you go. Another one last look at it before I put it up. It's cool, huh? Put a lot of signatures on this. Super cool, man. And of course the Bryce Young signed helmet as well. There you go. It's authentic, you know, as you can tell by the sticker on the back. These are real, dude. So, there you go. Please send some good vibes and good energy to my man David Screws. He's going through some tough times at the moment, and he could use some good energy right now, if you guys don't mind. Also, Carol as well, our co-founder of the channel, as she's recovering and getting her life back in better shape. And anyone else that needs prayer requests or good vibe requests, you know, please do let us know in the chats. You know, if we're not reacting to a game, we are more than happy to do that for you. We'd feel honored, you know, because I feel like that's one of the essential functions of this channel, is to help other people as best we can, you know, and encourage each other. So we're all one big family, you know, Panthers wise, and we'd love to have that, you know. Let me get David on here. I don't think he knows I'm live. What's up, dude? You're live on the channel with me. I'm doing Panthers content stuff. What's good, man? I just actually requested on the channel that people send you some good energy, man.
I'm trying to turn the camera on. It won't let me turn it around for some reason.
It's on. It's on.
I'm trying to flip it, you know?
Oh, okay, okay.
And, oh, there we go.
There you go. Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Yep.
So you did get the new car. All right, cool. Excellent.
Yeah, the payment's a little high, but you know what? I got a really good interest rate, so that's a positive.
There you go. There you go.
That's the blessing right there. You ain't gonna believe this. I got an incredible 1.9%.
Hey, happy to hear that worked out for you, and you know, the stream can hear you too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut back on some things. It's not a cheap payment. But,
I just reacted to the video of Cody from C3.
Oh.
That was cool, man. I really enjoyed that. It was cool learning about his history and everything. You know, how he got involved with C3 and all that. That's really cool, man. Just an amazing gentleman.
Yeah, this is an SUV.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
It's all digital. Show you.
Excellent. There you go.
It's a pretty big car, man.
Very cool, man. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. I love that dashboard.
Look how big that screen is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Got plenty of room in here. I gotta clean it up, you know.
Yeah, that's a good amount of room. Wow. I love that.
Oh, yeah, Keisha's people are gonna hate this part. They don't like to wear seatbelts because
Right.
you don't have your seatbelt on. It's going to beep at you until you put it on. It will not stop. So.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
The dash is cool, though, ain't it?
Yeah, that's amazing looking. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
I haven't even listened to the radio yet. I don't even know how the radio is yet. About to find out. Let's see.
Well, I'm on stream right now, so trying to do any copyrighted music. You're good though. You're good.
I don't even know how to turn the volume up. Oh.
Oh, there you go.
No, that don't. Oh my god. How do you turn the volume up? Oh, great. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's on your steering wheel. Interesting. Huh. Well, folks, I requested good vibe and energy for this dude, and it paid off. Do you need more proof? This stuff works, y'all. This stuff works.
Look at the car key. It looks like a freaking alien ship car key. Look at that.
That is so weird looking. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, no, the doors are unlocked. Like I just do this right here. Boom.
Oh.
Let me get that thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, but when I lock it, you can't get in there.
Nice.
What?
All right, but so yeah, the good vibe and good energy request, paid off. Man got himself a new car, so there you go. All right. Well, we might switch this up to a game stream, and go back live. We'll see. But as far as the Panthers related content, we're pretty much done with all that. So we appreciate you guys for stopping by and hanging out, and we will reconvene Panthers wise around the time of FanFest. Until then, unless there's any other content that comes out that is worth doing a full stream on, then we'll do that. So, with that in mind, thank you guys so much for showing some love and stopping by. Jeffrey, we appreciate you. And best of luck to everybody out there, man. So, if you want an intro like the one you see on the screen, go check out Lindara Ty on Instagram using her last name first, Ty, T-A-I Lindara, L-I-N-D-A-R-A, for videos, panels, etc. and enhancing your stream content creation experience. Go check her out. Tell her we sent you, and she'll hook you up. Once again, shout out to all the other content creators out there. C3, Blitzball Champ, Pat Coltrane, The Roar, Mr. Big Cat. We got Black Cat Panther podcast out there as well. Go show them all some love, man. They're all great people and just good human beings, and just we've met some of these people and we're really blessed, So go show them some love. Let me see who's live right now. Let me see who's live. I don't think anybody's live right now, are they? Nobody on my list. Big Cats. PNP is live. PNP is live. So if you guys are interested in PNP, go check him out. Go check them out. I don't know what they're talking about today, but some of these people left videos about Taylor Moton and whatnot. So some of these guys are going to go live later on tonight about that subject. So just be on the lookout. You know, it's major news, so maybe you'll be able to talk about some stuff related to that. Yeah, C3 is going live at 9. C3 is going live at 9. The players are reporting to training camp officially. The rookies, as of right now, that's the big news. So we'll see how that pans out. We're gonna do a gaming podcast either today or another day within the next week and a half. So maybe 2 of them. We'll see. But we're going to try to fit one in, one more before FanFest. So we'll see what's going on tonight. Maybe I'll be able to get one done. Maybe not. I don't have anything else planned for tonight, so maybe. Anyway, thank you guys so much. And as always, you gotta stay happy, healthy, and well. And keep pounding. Row, row, row. Peace.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks.